Toastmaster Liyana.
As a child, I was brought up in a proper way. Sit straight, keep quiet, no running around, and be polite. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests.
Good evening.
I am Liyana, the girl who was raised to be a proper lady. But, well, I might have gotten sidetracked on the way there. My parents, my mother especially, wanted me to grow up the way a proper lady should. She taught me to always maintain my manners, especially in public, smile, and never raise my voice. I was never allowed to do all the things other kids were allowed to do. See, my mother is not only strict, she is also very overprotective. If there's a chance that something might be dangerous, forget about it. Running around, playing tag, wrist falling down and scraping my knee? Absolutely not. Swimming in a pool and risk drowning? Don't even go there. Playing on a bouncer and risk falling sick the next day? Definitely not, young lady. So I guess it's safe to say that I spent some of my childhood sitting down and being proper. I said some, because I only did those things when I was around my parents. School was a different thing. Even as a child, I've always wondered why I wasn't allowed to do the things all the other kids were allowed to do. So when I had the chance, I'd run around and do the things my parents would never allow me to do. I was a little rebel. I was a rascal, but I got away with it because I was a straight-A student back in primary school. The only reason I bothered to maintain my grades were because of my parents. Just because I was a rebel behind their backs doesn't mean I wasn't afraid of my mother's wrath. I was such a little brat that one time, a girl made me mad. For whatever reason, I don't remember. But I decided to bring her to the washroom with me, and I attempted to flush her hand down the toilet. If you had asked me what I was thinking back then or what I expected out of that, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, honestly. And one other time, I grabbed a boy by his collar and pushed him to the door, just because he threw a fake lizard at me. That was in primary school, everyone. Primary school. See what I mean by sidetracked? And then high school came along, and my rebelliousness just got amplified. Somehow I got myself into mingling with the wrong group of people. Then I guess you can tell what happens from there. My grades started dropping from an A to an F. I started skipping classes. I got sent out of class a lot. And the religious studies teachers hated me because I never liked wearing the tudong in school. I almost never wore the tudong to school towards the end of my high school years. Because of this, I got into trouble not only with my teachers, but with my parents as well. I remember this one time. My mother attended a parents-teachers meeting back when I was in year 8, and she got so furious at me because I failed my maths midterm paper. I didn't attend the meeting. I stayed home. So then I received a call from her. As soon as I picked it up, she started shouting on the phone. She was shouting and scolding me. When I pulled the phone away from my ear, I could still hear her shouting. That was how loud and furious she was at me. Like that wasn't enough. She came home that evening. I was taking a shower. She went to the bathroom door, banged on the door, and shouted, saying, "I'm going to cut your allowance until you raise those grades." There were a lot of instances like that, but that was one of the most memorable one. Aside from bad grades, I wasn't much of a lady either. I could be rude when I wanted to be, and I always had something mean to say. But then, somewhere along the way, I met different people, and I saw a different perspective in life. From there, I started growing up and learning new things. Don't get me wrong, I love my mother, and I know she wants nothing but the best for me. But I didn't like living the protected life where things were just laid out for me to just follow. I made some mistakes, I got into trouble for it, but only to learn and reflect back. I know it's a little bit cliche for me to say this, but all the things I did back then, the good, the bad, maybe mostly bad, has made me who I am today, and I honestly wouldn't change a thing. Okay, maybe trying to flush my friend's hand down the toilet wasn't necessary, but, well, you get what I mean. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my past summed up in one story. What better way to get to know a person than to know something about their past? Back to you, Toastmasters.
I never knew you had such a dark past. But I'm happy that you're not in any way near from it now. Our second prepared speaker